Hello and welcome back to the episode of Bantz with Lawrencia. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great. For today's episode, I want to talk about UK men, Nigerian men in the UK. It's been a pandemic of Nigerian men, both young and old, being caught soliciting for minors online. This is usually online. And before I even go into this whole thing, most of them are entrapped into this whole conversation. Now, in Nigeria, I remember going to secondary school. It was a girls' secondary school, and we had like morning and afternoon section because it wasn't a big school, so they had to kind of divide. Has to be two sections to accommodate all the students. Now, if you're going home in the evening, my God, because I was in afternoon section, you will see men. We're talking about how old? 15, 16. You're seeing men in their 30s, in their 40s, driving their cars parked. You see cars parked. I'm talking about a secondary school. You see cars parked with this one jumping into this car, jumping into that car. You see some of them by the roadside, like because we're all going home. You see people, like, you know that these are not their fathers. You know that these are not their brothers. You know that these are not their uncles. You know that these people are there to pick these girls up because they want to catch them young. Some of them end up marrying these girls. I remember one person then got married to a very much older man, and right now, you know, had kids and they're no longer together. She's still young. I mean, you know, I look at her right now and I'm thinking, what happened? What happened? Then it will be, you know, even the families will accept gifts from this whole older men because of, you can imagine coming from a very humble background and worrying about what your children or the family is going to eat for dinner, and then your youngest daughter or your teenage daughter, barely teenage daughter, is coming back home with money and goodies, and a man who is old enough to be her father dropped her off, and you're happy that, oh, my family's history is going to change, or she's going to help us change the dynamic of the family. You're happy to just collect all those things and eat. So it has been, it's not a new thing in Nigeria. Now, some recently jackpot Nigerian men. We used to have the student one. I mean, it used to be, especially from 2020 to 2022, those were students that I've seen their videos online. I remember talking about one of them who just came in barely 6 months. He was already online sharing a dick pic with a child online, but it was actually a child that he was sharing that with, telling her that he wants to do this to her, do that to her, like a child. I think she was even 12 years old. You know, these younger children right now, they are online, they're on TikTok, they have tablets. You can be thinking, oh, they know they are born in technology, so they know exactly how to bypass the whole age thing and then register, and they will be online. And then these men, looking at them, a 12-year-old in the UK, listen, they're going to look like they are 15 years old. But even at that, for you to want to date a 15 years old girl as a full-fledged man, you need to be locked up. But the truth is, this is what is going on. This is what they've been doing way back home, and nobody frowned at it because, you know, they are giving the girls some money to help out with the family, and even the family, they are not even raising an eyebrow. This girl's family took her phone because she was always on her phone. They were thinking, what could she be doing on her phone? They collected her phone only to find out that she's been talking to this 35 years old guy. She was 15 years old at that time, and they were sharing pictures he was asking her for, in fact, I think he wanted to meet her somewhere, and that was how the family saw the phone and started chatting him up. That was how they knew where he worked, and they came with the police to his work where he was working to arrest him. Now, the latest one is a 43-year-old man. He is 43, married with kids. This man came into the UK and all he could do, married man with kids. Your wife is not enough. You had to go and talk to a minor. I think she was 14 years old. 43 years old. What are you doing with a 14 years old girl? 14 years old child. He was chatting with her, but it was an entrapment because the child does not exist. Remember, from 2020 to 2022 was a pandemic. These are real children being exploited online. So I think what the Met Police did was to kind of start a sting operation where they started placing officers everywhere to be online, chatting with people. They will tell you they are underage. I mean, how can you tell somebody you're 14 years old and they continue with that conversation? That was how this man was caught. Let me just play the video for you to see his response when he was arrested. Watch this.
A child.
She's a child. She's 14 years old.
That's what I said.
And you've just said to me that you could be speaking to others. Have you been bullying these other children?
I've never done that to my life.
Well, you have, because I've got the evidence here.
Sir, I told you. I said I'm just saying that for nothing's sake. I don't mean it.
You don't mean it?
I don't mean it.
You don't mean it.
I don't mean it.
But you've already done the damage.
How?
How? Do you think a 14-year-old should be pressured into sending indecent images?
No.
How old are you?
I'm 43.
You told her you were 20-something?
I think maybe it's 24. I think 20. I told you, in the dating app, they fake their age then.
Right.
So
But she hasn't. Because her parents have seen the chat.
She said in the dating app, if you are not 18, you can't open the app.
Right.
So she says she's 18. That's why I even just said, I just sent
but then she told you, when you started messaging, she told you how old she was, didn't she?
I don't believe.
You don't believe?
Yeah, I don't, that's why.
See, you didn't once say in this chat that you didn't believe her.
I don't believe what she's saying. I thought it just a phone, so I don't take it serious.
You were asking her about being a virgin as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I said you must keep your virginity. If you check the child, I said,
so if she was an adult, why would she need to keep her virginity?
If she's an adult. That, I would just say the same thing, because me, based on my religions, I believe in sex, I believe in relationship. I believe in a relationship without sex. So that's why I'm preaching on any dating I find myself. That don't allow any guy to have sex with you in a relationship. You must keep yourself.
But they can send you pictures of themselves with no clothes on.
No.
So what are you asking?
That's what I'm saying. I said it's just fun.
It's not fun.
I don't mean it.
This is not fun.
I'm telling you,
see your children in there.
Yeah, they're there.
If a 40-year-old man like yourself was, when your children are 12, 13, 14, if a man of your age was sending those messages to your child, what would you think about that?
Do you know my intention? I want her.
I think I do know your intention.
Do you know my intention? I want her to go and tell her mom.
Did you tell her to go and tell her mom?
No. That's my intention. That's why I was just.
Did you tell her?
I never did that.
You didn't tell her to do that? You didn't tell her. So you think she's a mind reader?
No, this is what I'm saying. She said maybe she's a single, maybe her mother does not have, maybe she's a single parent.
Right.
She's not with her mother. So
she's a vulnerable child, is what you're saying?
No, maybe she's the father is not stable.
Right. So she's a vulnerable child. So you've groomed this child, told her that you was going to look after her.
No.
You never once. You said you lived here with your brother.
Yeah.
You didn't tell her that you had a wife and children.
I said with my brother.
Yeah. You didn't say you had a wife and children to her.
No, she didn't. Anybody I did.
Because you asked her to be your girlfriend.
I do. That's what I said. I did that for fun.
So why
don't mean it?
But this is what I'm saying to you. You're not getting what I'm saying to you.
I understand what
you're saying. You're damaging children by talking to them in this way. Mentally.
Okay. Let's see. I never meant that.
You're abusing children mentally.
I never meant that.
You didn't the child.
You mean that? Seriously.
Now, also a lot of TikTokers, because listen, TikTok is the place to be right now. They also reacted to these videos because people were saying, this is not new. This is not new. And a whole lot of people, listen, initially they were saying, oh, don't come as a single person. But these are married men with children. So it's not like, oh, you don't have a hole to use. You have that one, but you're thinking you need fresh blood. You need a minor. Let me just play some of the reaction from TikTok. Watch this.
A 43-year-old Nigerian man has been arrested in the UK for talking to a 14-year-old teenager, girl online. And beyond blaming the man, we need to learn what exactly is happening and what happened. Because you see, it is very alarming. If you look at the last 2 years, the number of Nigerian men that has been arrested for doing one or two things with a teenager, and you take that and put it against the number that we have as a whole in the country, you will know that it is a pandemic. It is a big problem. For us to have such limited number and to have this alarming rate of people being arrested in the last 2 years, you can go and check record and see how many Nigerian men has been arrested. You know that for some of you, when you are back home in Nigeria, you have this idea that when you go to work, you first of all go and drink, go and carry olosho. It's whatever it is that is left that you bring home. It doesn't work here. It doesn't work. You need to talk to that your third leg. That your third leg that is always moving. That thinks that, oh, you must run something. You need to talk to it. Trust me, it's not about being holy or being, but you need to talk to yourself. You need to calm yourself down and repair your home. Chili ever any problem. Because anyone that tell you to take care of your wife, take care of your family is a sissy. You don't know what you are doing. Some of you even say that don't bring your wife abroad. Leave your wife, but you come to the abroad. Sure, you know to abroad. Have you seen the abroad weather? You know that you lack self-control. You don't have anything self-control. You don't have it. You now come to this space because you think that, oh, you've seen girls all around, you have the internet, you think you can just talk to anybody. You need to talk to yourself. And it's painful because before we know it, they will say African men do this, African men do that. I dare say these things are alien, to African men. It's not about, African men or not. Because if you go back into history, we have women, that I enjoy their life. As a matter of fact, they are led because African men work with them, allow them space, not because to allow them, because if men do not allow them, they will be able to do it. But people like Moremi, all of that, they led men, and men follow them, men support them. Those are strong women. I'm a Yoruba, so I'm using the Yoruba ones that I know. So African men are not terrible. You need to work on yourself, because for us to have this limited number in the UK and to have this number, and for all of you, the man share house party, talk to yourselves. Talk to yourselves. The weather that is causing people, because why you know it, you are doing house party in Kinekan, house party happening in Kinekan, house Kinekan happening in something. Be careful. If you don't know the organizer of the house party, you don't know the integrity, don't go. Because you see, Yoruba will say that if you refuse to learn some things, in your home, you refuse to change. It is this controlled environment. It is this very organized environment that will teach you. And unfortunately, it's going to rub off on many people, because at the end of the day, it's going to be a Nigerian man, not you doing it. So please, go to Boruko and family and Nigeria by extension. Let's think, let's do better, let's talk to ourselves. Do you get?
All I can say is, if you have an uncle, a brother, a father, a friend, a male friend that is traveling to the UK, tell them, advise them, tell them to control their third leg, especially when it comes to minors, especially when it comes to talking to people online. One of the reasons why they advise you to bring your wife, they will still leave their wife and start chasing minors. This is ridiculous. I don't even know. Listen, let me know what you think. Do you think that it's the culture of Nigeria that is just playing out here, or that some people are just bad? Bad person is bad person. I mean, the age of consent in Nigeria, especially in the north, I think is 9 years old. They can literally marry you off at 9 years old. And that's Uju Kennedy. The reason why the former minister of women affairs, Uju Kennedy, was removed was because she said she was going to end child marriage in Nigeria or in the north. That was literally her crime. She was removed. So this is not new. But now you're transferring that to a country where there are laws, there are rules, there are guidelines. And once you're caught, you're going to face the full law. How do you advise our brothers, our fathers, our uncles? What advice do you have for them? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. Please like, and share. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.